Platoon is a movie that doesn't really have a plot to it. It's more or less an experience. This is Oliver Stone. This is Oliver Stone's pretty much giving you a account of his time during the Vietnam War, and Platoon is pretty much a documentary in a way about his experiences and seeing the war through his eyes. And we see the war in this movie through the eyes of Taylor, who's played by Charlie Sheen. And I think Charlie Sheen in this movie put on a really good performance. I thought he did exceptionally well as the character of Taylor. I like how he's caught in the middle of this, kind of like this civil war between the characters of Elias, played by Willem Dafoe, and the character of Barnes, played by Tom Berenger. I like how Taylor is that link between the two rivals. You know, you have the Elias character, who is more of a friendlier, welcoming type of person. In contrast, you have the character of Barnes, who is just this cold, sadistic son of a bitch of a man who does questionable things while in war. Like he will not hesitate to kill civilians. He will not hesitate to kill children. He will not hesitate to do anything. That's how ruthless and sadistic Barnes is. While all the while, Barnes is also a decorated war hero, and that is what Taylor sees in Barnes. But after Taylor sees Barnes' true nature, he rejects that and he aligns himself with Elias. And of course, this causes Barnes and Elias to even have the rivalry get further even deep, and to the point where Barnes pretty much hands over Elias to the Viet Cong by shooting Elias. Now, of course, Barnes was out to kill Elias, but Elias somehow survived Barnes' killing, but ended up dying anyway because he got gunned down by a bunch of North Vietnamese. And Taylor, knowing the truth and already knowing that Barnes and Elias had a rocky relationship to begin with, of course, Taylor wants to get revenge on Barnes, which he ultimately does at the end of the movie. And to me, the strongest part of this movie is the triangle between Taylor, Elias, and Barnes. Seeing Taylor interact with these two men through different sides of the perspective. Again, when Taylor interacts with Elias and his men, it's a very mellow, calming type of situation. When he interacts with Barnes and his men, it's very crude, it's very destructive, and it's very amoral in a way. You know, Elias is the moral center, and Barnes is the amoral center, and Taylor has to struggle with these two sides, while all the while trying to fight in the Vietnam War. And I think Oliver Stone handles that very, very, very well. Now, that's not to say that the supporting cast of this movie is bad, because it's not. You have a supporting cast that includes Forrest Whitaker, Tony Todd, Kevin Dillon, John C. McGinley, and I think all of these guys do a fantastic job, with Kevin Dillon playing the character of Bunny, who is just as ruthless, because he's under the influence of Barnes. Bunny is just a ruthless character as well. He's not afraid to kill. You got the Forrest Whitaker character, who is a fun-loving type of character, and you also have Keith David, who plays the King character, who's also a good-natured type of character too. These are guys who are under Elias's command. But you really see the stark differences between these two separate squadrons, and it's like light and day. You have the good and you have the evil from both sides, and Oliver Stone captured it perfectly. From a production standpoint, I think this movie is shot really, really, really well. Oliver Stone really captures that grounded realism of Vietnam and the Vietnam War. And there's a lot of intense moments in this movie, a lot of just graphic, brutal scenes, and Oliver Stone really captures the war is hell motif that's been going on pretty much since the Civil War. And he captures it beautifully. He doesn't homogenize it. He doesn't make it a battle of good versus evil. You see the downright despicable nature that the American soldiers did during the Vietnam War, attacking villages, raping children, killing innocent people. You know, really letting the Vietnam War get to their head to the point where it psychologically destroyed these men. And I think Oliver Stone captured that perfectly, in my opinion. If I do have any main criticisms of this movie, I think I had to give it to Charlie Sheen. Though I think Charlie Sheen was good in the role. This movie also had Johnny Depp in it, and when you're comparing actors, Johnny Depp to me is a much better actor, and I think Depp would have been a better choice to play Taylor, because just when you compare the two, Depp is a better actor than Sheen, but that's not taking anything away from Charlie Sheen in this movie. You know, when we first see Sheen's character, yeah, he starts off a little shaky here and there, but as the movie progresses, Sheen gets increasingly fits the role like a glove. So yeah, overall, my thoughts on Platoon. This movie is great. It's a great character study. And you see the war and you see this grounded, realistic take on Vietnam War, and you see the two opposing sides of this war inside the American inside the American military itself. You get the good and you get the bad, and Oliver Stone juggles it and handles it perfectly. And the Taylor character being like the link between the two sides was a nice touch as well. So my overall rating for Platoon is going to be a solid 9 out of 10. If you've not seen Platoon, go out and watch it. This is a good movie. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment sections down below. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.